A woman with heart is someone who reaches out to others. She's a leader. She's decisive. She speaks her mind, but she speaks it with empathy and compassion. She makes a difference in others' lives. She makes a difference in her own life. And she's not afraid to admit when she's made a mistake either. That is a woman with heart. The one word that friends and colleagues would probably use to describe me is energetic. And I have a lot of energy. Some people call me the live wire at JEA because of my energy. And it's kind of funny, I was in the energy field. The one word I would use to describe myself is sensitive. I'm a feeling person, and I tend to get really involved with people that I care about and even people that I meet. I'm a very sensitive person and feel what other people are feeling. A really impactful philanthropic experience for me was volunteering at Mission House in Jacksonville Beach. At Mission House, there was a client there named Bernard Kane. He was mentally handicapped and one of the most hardworking, loving people I've ever met. And I would go there once a month to see Bernard and serve him for almost 15 years. And he changed who I was as a person. And I was so blessed to go to his funeral, and it was like a funeral for a king, which is really what he was. The one person that I would want to sit down with would be my father. And it would be my father because I didn't know him. I was very young when he passed away, almost 5 years old. And my mother was a widow in her early 40s with 5 children, ranging in age from 2 to 16. And I've always been told I'm very much like my father, but I don't know that much about him, and I would love to have the opportunity to talk to him. So many people have had a big impact on my life. My mother, my husband, my daughter, my friends. But the person who had the most impact and really changed the trajectory of my life was my high school math teacher. Her name was Dr. Marita Ng, and I was fortunate to have her for math from 9th through 12th grade. And one day she sat me down and said, "Vickie, you should be an engineer." So I did. And you know, so many years later, 35, almost 40 years later, I got in touch with Mrs. Ng and thanked her for that and let her know what an impact she had had on my life. And that was just recently, and I'm still in touch with her. She's 91 years old. And you know what she did when I got in touch with her? I went to her kitchen. I'd never been in her kitchen. I found out she was an accomplished pianist. She was this, she was that. She had a clock on her wall, and it had mathematical symbols and numbers, you know, like 2 was the square root of 4. And I said, "I love that clock, Mrs. Ng." And she said, "You do?" I said, "I do. Oh, my son got that for me." I got home about 3 weeks later one day, and that clock, a new one, of course, was waiting for me at my front door in a package. It was fantastic. So she brought me a clock. The person I admire the most would be Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a woman with real heart. Mother Teresa gave her whole life to the poor, to the ill, to the sick, to the dying. And she was so humble. And I can recall a quote of hers, something to the effect, "None of us do great things alone, but if each of us do small things with love, we accomplish great things." One thing that a lot of people probably don't know about me is that I love to dance, and I had a great opportunity to compete in Jacksonville's Dancing with the Stars to benefit the Jacksonville Children's Chorus. And I love music and I love dancing. So I did it, and I was so petrified. But 9 months of dancing lessons with great people, and I'd never danced. And you know what? I won! It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. The most fantastic thing, besides the fact that I won, was it didn't hurt that we raised the most money as well, which helped in the winning. So not only did I win, but we benefited the Jacksonville Children's Chorus, which is fantastic. My favorite guilty pleasure is Peterbrook chocolate-covered popcorn. I cannot resist driving past a Peterbrook without going in, especially in Ponte Vedra, and grabbing a little bit that they put out in a bucket every day. And I'll buy the small package because no matter what size I buy, I'm going to eat the whole thing before I get home. That is my guilty pleasure. I think Volunteers in Medicine is so critical to the Jacksonville community. They serve such an underserved population. People who are working hard but don't have health insurance. People who can fall through the cracks. People who are trying their darndest to stay above water. And they do it with such dignity. You walk into Volunteers in Medicine, and those volunteers and the minimal staff they have provide health care that is almost unrivaled. I'm very proud to be part of this Women with Heart and help Volunteers in Medicine.